So can you tell us why what happened in Maidan Square is so important, and what you allege happened, and how that differs from the official story?
Yes, and I published this already in peer-reviewed journal articles. I had 2 peer-reviewed journal articles published on this research, and I have also a new article, peer-reviewed journal article, which is now in final stages. And it received very positive reviews from peer reviewers, anonymous, and I submitted just small changes, waiting for any time, any day for a decision if they're going to publish. But I think it's very difficult to be certain. But based on my research, I think evidence is beyond any reasonable doubt. I think this is the case when there is no even debate, because evidence is so clear that this massacre was not conducted by snipers.
For people who are watching who don't know what the massacre is, can you just set up what's happening at this point?
Yes, this massacre was crucial massacre in Ukraine in 2014. In February of 2014, during Euromaidan mass protests in Kyiv and in Ukraine, which became protests against the Yanukovych government, which was pro-Russian government in Ukraine. So after the peaceful protests, which took place, we started at the end of November of 2013, became violent after because of violent organizations participation. This escalated to the massacre of Maidan protesters and the police on February 20th of 2014. And this massacre led to overthrow of the Yanukovych government, because he was immediately blamed for this massacre, not only by the Ukrainian by opposition, Maidan opposition, but also by the media in Ukraine and the entire world, by the Biden administration. And Biden, in his memoirs, he said that he called Yanukovych on the day of the massacre and blamed him for this massacre, and told Yanukovych that basically he have to leave not only his presidency, but also have to leave Ukraine. And for this reason, Yanukovych fled, because he also was subjected to assassination attempt, and this led to a change of the government, and this massacre basically escalated to Russian annexation of Crimea, and in retaliation for this, and also to civil war in Donbass, in eastern Ukraine.
So there's the massacre. The massacre leads to
overthrow of Yanukovych government.
Right, the overthrow of Yanukovych's government, and then that leads to
Russia, basically to Russia annexing Crimea region of southern Ukraine, which was pro-Russian region and a separatist region of Russian Ukraine.
And that's in part because they imposed or they passed some anti-Russian language laws under the post-Yanukovych government?
Yes, but I think most important it was because of the change of the government, because this led to the government, which was again anti-Russian government,
right?
And
pro-Western government. It defeated, yes. Right? So the pro-Russian in quotes guy leaves, the pro-Western guy comes in, and then Putin annexes Crimea.
I think this is also very important because Crimea was populated by ethnic Russians.
Right.
They were also like supporting Russia for a long time. And in Crimea, there was basically separatist rebellion against Ukrainian government, new Maidan government, which was supported by Russia, and which escalated to civil war in
right. And then the Maidan massacre happens, and what makes you even look into it?
Because I specialize in conflicts and political violence, so I was watching Maidan from the start, and I was doing this research, and I wrote first article about Maidan on December 2nd in Open Democracy, which is a British publication. And I wrote that this became very dangerous for Ukraine, because if Maidan become violent, either by opposition, specifically by far right, or by the government, Yanukovych government, this can lead to breakup of Ukraine, similarly to what happened to Moldova, or it can lead to civil war as well, which happened in Moldova. So this was clear for me. This was a very important development already since this Maidan started, and specifically violence started. Because in contrast to previous Maidan in 2004, this became violent and very led by far right. So that's why I was very kind of eager to research this. I had to watch basically then day and night, all the streams from Kiev, from the Maidan. And I was watching on the day of the Maidan massacre, I was watching live stream from several streams from Kiev, from Maidan on internet. And I saw the police basically fleeing, basically taking cover and retreating from Maidan for no reason. There was no sound which you can hear, but only like very loud kind of voices and loud kind of sound from the stage, Maidan stage. But there was obviously something going on. And afterwards, there was shooting of protesters taking place. So when I saw this, I immediately wanted to do research about this. I tried to find these videos which I was watching on the YouTube and on other sites in Ukraine. I could not find any single video stream. All of them disappear. So for me, this became very strange kind of to see, because there were other recordings of the same footage from previous days, but from the day of the massacre, there was nothing left. Even so, I was watching this live, so I know there was such footage. And for me, this became very strange, because this is why I immediately started to question what happened, because this was against a very irrational event which took place. There was no reason to massacre protesters and the police, and it was not clear actually who was responsible, because I did not see actually who was shooting. There were actually protesters were talking about snipers, but police backup police was filmed shooting, but they were not shooting at the same time and the same place as the protesters were killed. And I know the area very well. I stayed in Maidan maybe like 50 times. I was a student in Kiev, so I knew this area. This is like downtown. This is like Times Square. So this is in Kiev. So this is like the very center of Kiev. There are like I live in the Hotel Ukraine, which was actually location of the snipers and which was main place of the massacre taking place. I had my university first day of my university. There was an induction into students, which was held in a nearby Zhotnevi Palace, which became another location of snipers on Maidan. And I stayed in the Hotel Kozatsky, which was again on Maidan, which was again another location of snipers. There is also like a main post office, which I used many times. So I knew the area like very well. And for me, this was immediately clear that something was very strange. And that's why I did research, trying to collect all the available evidence about this. And I did my first paper in a seminar of Ukrainian studies in 2014 on October. Actually, yes, exactly. This was again October 2014, and I presented this paper. And afterwards, I presented this and put it on my website. It became viral because I reported that this what I found based on my original research, that all the evidence pointed to this massacre being forced flag massacre with involvement of far-right elements and oligarchic opposition.